Welcome to the MS-Perspektive podcast, Perspective with a K as I'm German. I'm Nele von Horsten, MS patient, patient advocate and author. I'm bringing you interviews, inspiration and information about living with multiple sclerosis and show you ways how you can positively influence the disease and make the best out of your diagnosis. On ms-perspektive.com you will find the show notes, 11 free tips as a PDF and lots of other information. And now the show begins. Thanks for tuning in again and welcome to episode number 114, Traveling with MS, 10 tips for a smooth journey. Traveling with multiple sclerosis might seem daunting at first, especially if you've recently been diagnosed. Questions pop up. Can I still go on long trips? Will my medication stay safe? What happens if I get sick abroad? These are all valid concerns, but there's a good news. With the right preparation and mindset, MS doesn't have to stop you from seeing the world. In this episode, I'll share 10 practical tips for relaxed and enjoyable travel with MS. From choosing the right destinations and handling your medication on the road, to dealing with heat, jet lag and time zones. I've personally traveled to places like Australia, Japan, Cuba, Namibia and the US. Some for leisure, others for work. And I'll let you in on what worked for me, what didn't, and how you can feel confident and safe while exploring the world. So let's dive into the first topic, travel destinations. Because yes, even with MS, your dreams trip is still possible. Maybe one of your concerns is that now, since you have multiple sclerosis, you can no longer travel. But you don't need to worry. Since my diagnosis, I've been to Australia, South Korea, Japan, Malaysia, China, Namibia, Iceland, Italy, Sweden, England, Finland, the USA and Cuba. In some of these countries, it was extremely hot, which doesn't agree with me much, but I wanted to see them. I visited other countries for work and managed to fulfill my duties well, despite jet lag and MS. On all these trips, I carried my injections in my hand luggage and made sure during business trips that my colleagues didn't see them. Until 2020, I kept my diagnosis private, especially at work. Always carry medications in your hand luggage. If you are undergoing a platform therapy and need to carry medication, you'll need a medication passport for travel. You can get it from your neurologist. I always keep mine in my wallet so I don't forget it before a trip. Since I need to keep my injections cool, I always carry a small cooler bag that holds a sufficient number of syringes, plus a buffer for 3 days, in case there are significant complications with the return journey. A volcano probably won't erupt in Iceland again and shut down air traffic, but you never know. I clearly prefer to be safe. I also carry cooling packs and resealable plastic bags. That way, I can ask the flight attendant or gas station, depending on the travel type, for new ice cubes without soaking the entire bag. If you get infusions, plan the trip so it is before and after your trip, not in between, and maybe ask your neurologist to slightly change the schedule's appointment. Tablets are still better off in your hand luggage, so they can't get lost. Exact timing for medication. Since I'm supposed to take my medication at a precise time, my smartphone reminds me in time, preferably with a discreet message in case others are around. You could write something like be grateful. If your phone lights up and someone else reads the text, they just think it's a positive affirmation, which it also is. Having MS while living in a German-speaking country where effective medications are covered by health insurance really is a reason to be grateful. It significantly increases the chances of living in a relatively worry-free life despite MS. If the situation is different for you and you are not getting a sufficient disease-modifying treatment, a DMT, you might want to check out if there are clinical studies in your country that fit for you. But let's come back to the dosing time. If your dosing time becomes inconvenient due to a time zone change, you should gradually adjust it before your trip. Take your medication half an hour earlier or later each day. That way, your body only adjusts by half an hour per day, but you can easily achieve several hours difference in just a few days. Your body gets used to the new time, and you won't need to take medication in the middle of the night while on vacation. Extreme climates. On my trips to Australia, Namibia, Malaysia, and Cuba, the intense heat was tough. I handled it by staying well hydrated, mostly water, no alcohol, and giving myself plenty of rest. I swallowed my pride during a desert hike and was genuinely happy for the two ladies aged 68 and 75 who reached the goal faster than me. In return, I got some great photos of 500-year-old dried-up trees and dead flame. On the ride back, I had a pounding headache because I hadn't drunk enough water, but the pictures stayed with me. On another day, like most fellow travelers, I opted for the air-conditioned accommodation and pool. Meanwhile, two older ladies spent another 2 hours walking through the city. Respect, no envy. If you can afford it, more comfortable accommodations usually include a fridge in the room. You can also ask in advance. I did this both in Cuba and Namibia. In Namibia, we had a fridge on the tour bus, and in Cuba, the cooling packs lasted through each drive to the next place. Sometimes I stored my medication in the hotel's fridge when there wasn't one in the room. Everyone was always kind and helpful, and during business trips, it was never a problem. Business hotels always had a minibar in the room, which fit my injections. While touring Korea with colleagues, my cooler bag was well prepared and stored in my suitcase, where it stayed cool and unnoticed. Well protected while traveling. You should definitely have international health insurance in case something does happen. It simply gives you peace of mind. I've never had to use mine so far. Bring a printout with the most important information in the local language when traveling to a country where few people speak English. Or your language, your mother tongue. This also applies to remote regions. Using Google Translate or another translation service makes this easy. The following should be included. Number 1, that you have multiple sclerosis. Number 2, what medication you take and how often. Number 3, contact information for your neurologist and general practitioner in your country. Number 4, any other important considerations such as intolerances or allergies. Vaccinations and more. Before my trip to Namibia, I got vaccinated against hepatitis A and B. I also brought malaria prophylaxis with me. Since it hadn't rained in 7 years and there were no mosquitoes to be found, I didn't technically need it. Still, I took it. My abstract fear of malaria combined with MS was stronger. For me, it was the right decision, but it's something you should weigh carefully for yourself if you are facing a similar choice. Vaccinations with inactivated vaccines do not pose an increased risk for people with MS. However, the right timing should be discussed with your neurologist, as some immunotherapies, the DMTs, can reduce the effectiveness of the vaccine and prevent complete protection. Live vaccines should be discussed in more detail with your neurologist, as they may pose an increased risk for people with MS. Further information is available from your national patient organization. In Germany and many other countries, there are government recommendations on which vaccinations should be given to the general population, and these also apply to people with MS. There are usually government recommendations on which vaccinations or precautions to take when traveling to a particular country, and these are updated regularly. Visit your dream destinations. Okay, money can be a limiting factor, but vaccinations come in all price ranges, and the more effort you put in, the cheaper it can get, even down to working locally in exchange for free room and board. Above all, don't let your family or friends talk you out of a dream destination. It's your life, and the things you didn't do might one day become regrets. That would be a shame. I went scuba diving at the Great Barrier Reef and took a diving course in Berlin, Germany, through the university sports program. It was quite affordable, and if not enough students sign up, non-students can join for a slightly higher fee. My family was worried. Diving is dangerous, and with multiple sclerosis, I was absolutely not supposed to do it. My neurologist gave me the go and had no additional comments besides sticking to the rules of safe scuba diving. So I did it, and it was amazing. We dove down 13 meters and saw beautiful coral and fish. An experience I probably never forget. So my advice to you is live your dreams if they are financially possible. My neurologist saw no issue with the diving. And in situations like this, I only care about his recommendations. If he strongly advised against something because of major health risk, I would let go of that dream, but not because of the worries of well-meaning people who aren't experts in the field. Of course, there are wonderful destinations close to home. You don't always have to travel far. And travel outfitters today offer all kinds of assistance to help you get out into nature. I'm not someone who enjoys heading out with a spade and a roll of toilet paper. That just doesn't feel right for me. My compromise is seeing the beautiful places I want to visit, but with more comfort than others my age might prefer. Backpacking rough isn't for me. It would only stress me out. I'd rather spend a bit more, feel good, and travel comfortably. So finally, the checklist for traveling with multiple sclerosis. Here's a summary of the most important points for you. Number 1. Always carry medications in your hand luggage. Checked luggage can be delayed or lost. Bring enough cooling packs and Ziploc bags for ice cubes if your medication needs to be cooled. Number 2. Do the accommodations have a refrigerator in the room or somewhere safe from unauthorized access? Number 3. Get a medication passport and keep it in your hand luggage. Security may ask for it. Number 4. Weigh the risks of recommended vaccinations. Inactivated vaccines are safe. Discuss live vaccines with your neurologist. In some cases, a relapse is less dangerous than a life-threatening illness. Number 5. Bring prophylactic medications and take them if needed. Talk to your neurologist about this. Number 6. Print out key details about your medication and special considerations in the local language. Carry them with you, including contact details for your neurologist and general practitioner. Number 7. Don't push yourself too hard. Listen to your body and rest when it tells you to. Number 8. Make your travel dreams come true. If you can afford the time, money, and family logistics. Number 9. If traveling across time zones, gradually adjust your medication schedule before departure. Moving it by 30 minutes a day help shift it without disrupting your sleep. Start early. Number 10. Take out international health insurance if you don't already have it. Keep the policy information in your hand luggage or on your smartphone. And finally, enjoy your trip and soak as much inspiration and experience as you can. The memories will always be yours. And later on, even the little challenges will often bring a smile to your face. So for me, traveling wasn't that big the last years due to my children. And it has to go up again because it's always great. But we did at least some smaller things, and I tried to stay in social connection. And as I'm reading my National Geographic, at least I can travel in my thoughts. But actually, when you are listening this podcast episode, I will be on my way to a cruise to Norway. So that will be very great. And cruises are another good option because there are a lot of comfort on the boats normally these days. And you can see lots of beautiful places. So stay as positive, stay as active, travel to your goals, to your dream destinations. And see you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening today. I hope you found it helpful. You may also be interested in the previously published episodes and posts, which you can find at ms-perspektive.com/podcast. Perspective with a K. You can also get a free PDF with 11 tips for your positive impact on MS, at ms-perspektive.com/newsletter. If you'd like to get in touch, you can reach me at nele@ms-perspektive.com or on social media. Hear you next time.